Hello everybody, I'm Derek with Derek's DIY Projects, and today I want to talk about why you should have a rain barrel, or two, maybe even three. One of the main reasons that everybody should like is you'll be able to save money. If you live in the city or the suburbs and you have a water meter, you're paying for every gallon that you use. By having a few rain barrels, you can significantly reduce the amount of metered water you'll be using for your outdoor activities. You could save hundreds a year depending on how much rain you have and how much you use them. I personally know a man who says he wouldn't be able to garden at all if it weren't for his rain barrels because of how high his water bill is already. Now maybe you're like me and you live out in the country and you rely on a well for your main water supply. You could still save money with the rain barrel, even on a well, not paying for metered water, because it does cost electricity to run your well. And if you're using filters or a filtration system to treat your water, every gallon that runs through your filters just leads to them needing to be replaced that much sooner. So by using a rain barrel for your irrigation and sometimes your washing needs, you could really take the strain off your system, which will also extend the life of your well and its components, which will in turn help you to save money. Now that we've gone over the obvious ways a rainwater tank or rain barrel could save you money, let's go over the less obvious ways before we move on to how you'll be helping save the environment. Now, as you can see, this rainwater tank right here is tied into my gutter system. The gutters are a great way to help divert water away from your house or your buildings, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen them backfire where the downspout has created a washout, and these washouts can potentially be devastating. Now, best case scenario, you don't have any kind of washout form or nothing, but a lot of times I see where people are constantly adding dirt, or they end up buying bags of rock, or even pouring a concrete slab right at the downspout to help prevent a washout. Worst case scenario, and I've seen this before too, is where that washout goes unchecked and it creates a crater right there, which could potentially lead to foundation damage. And foundation damage isn't anything you want to joke around with, and that can cost some massive money or big bucks to repair. So by having a strategically placed rainwater tank, you could be helping to prevent extra water from coming out of your gutters and washing out next to your buildings. Now, sometimes it's just unavoidable. You'll have a flood during hurricanes or severe storms. The water just can't go anywhere, whether it's badly designed system or the yard is already flooded. But again, your rain barrel will help offset this. Every bit of water that you absorb with your barrel is that much less water that's going to flood your area or be contributing to a washout right next to your building. I've even seen this barrel right here absorb every bit of water from a small storm, and none of it come out of the overflow that I have right here. So again, these could potentially help you save in time and maintenance, and by saving time and maintenance, that could also help you save money in the long run. Now let's move on to how you'll be helping save the environment. Now, we all like to save money, but some of us want to save the environment. And if you have a rain barrel, you could potentially offset your carbon footprint. While not a huge amount, every little bit can help. Now, whether you live off a well or in the city, it costs energy to produce and deliver water to your house. And if an elevated system like this, you'll be using gravity to wash and water with, and which will cost no energy to produce. Reducing energy consumption is just one way you'll be helping to stay green. In a lot of areas, runoff into waterways like this is a very valid concern. Runoff from your property can introduce chemicals such as fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides into the waterways. Pesticides kill fish, herbicides destroy aquatic plants, and fertilizers encourage toxic algae growth, none of which we want. So every gallon that you're able to catch in your rain barrel can be one less gallon that goes into our waterways and help preserve the natural order of the environment. Gotta love that free water from the rain. Now, if you're thrifty, you can repurpose a lot of old materials into your rainwater collection system. This not only will save you money, but it'll also keep these things from being put into a landfill and just becoming a waste product. For example, this system I've got right here, these blocks were salvaged off a property that was getting cleared of trash for new construction. This barrel right here was given to me by a friend who originally was going to use it for rainwater, but he just never got around to it. He had cleaned it. That's as far as he had gotten. Now, these pieces of pipe right here, these are all scrap pieces off the job that were too small for any practical use. Even this gutter downspout right here and the fittings right there, I salvaged out of the trash. Now, I did have to buy the PVC fittings, the original gutter and all that, but a lot of this stuff was repurposed. Even this banding right here, my boss is going to throw it away. It's old style. It's not something we use anymore. This spout right here, the valve itself, I got that off a remodel. I did have to get the 2 male adapters to adapt into this cap right here. But even this piece right here, I pulled off an old fitting on the job, the perk of being a plumber. So 90% of this system right here is made from recycled materials. And those recycled materials keep it from being in the landfill and have saved me money and have done my part to reduce the carbon footprint of stuff just sitting in a landfill, going to waste. I hate waste, and the fact that I was able to prevent a huge section of waste and get a very practical rainwater system out of it really makes me happy, and it shows an example of how it's not difficult to do if you're a little thrifty and are willing to spend some time saving things and going a little out of your way to repurpose them. Thank you everybody for watching. Y'all have a great day. Bye for now.